how are you doing? It is your girl Kalia here. I'm so happy to be with everyone this week, and I am sharing on something that is completely new. So bear with me. I know I've kind of like touched a little bit on some of these topics through my blog through the years if you've been following, but this is the first time I'm actually like having something, making a plan, and really bringing it to people. And I really wanted to do something to help people who have gone through a breakup or having trouble letting go of the past and who've gone through major setbacks. So we're going to jump right into it. But before we do, I have some really awesome news. I'm going to be having a new course coming out next year. I'm so excited. It is going to be called Upgrade You University, and it is all again targeted at helping people overcome pain and define their purpose in life. And so, like I said, whether you have just gone through a breakup, whether you are having trouble letting go of someone from your past, or you've had a major life setback, then Upgrade You University will be for you. So I'm really, really pumped about that. Stay tuned. I'm going to be doing a lot more videos in this area. So yeah, we're going to jump right in. So this week I had a blog post on paparazzi.com titled 5 Post-Breakup Mistakes that we make and how to avoid them. And so it was really an epic blog post. I go through 5 different mistakes that we all make and how to get through them. And so if you haven't seen that, I posted the link so that you can check it out. I also have for this video and for the blog post a really, really cool freebie. The freebie is entitled 5 Post-Breakup Routines that you can start today. And they are tried and true. A lot of experts would agree with me, and it's really, really awesome. So if you want to grab that, the link is also posted. So let's dive right in. So today's topic is whether jumping into another relationship right after a breakup is a good idea. And I will tell you guys, I've done both, okay? I have gotten into another relationship right away. It just was natural for me. It was like the easy thing to do. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to jump right into something. It's going to be great. I don't even want to think about the person who I just ended my relationship with. I just want to put it behind me, be on to the past. I totally get that logic. And so that's where I was. And that is the spirit in which I write. Do not do that, okay? I know that it is very tempting, and everyone will tell you there's plenty of fish in the sea. Get back out there. Go ahead, girl. Do what you need to do. But I will tell you from experience, breakup after breakup after breakup, I'm sorry to say, but it is not the best advice. And so I'm going to go into a few reasons why it's not, and then we're going to wrap it up. So the first reason is that we tend to advance our rebound relationship to meet the same level it was where you've ended your previous relationship. And so you may have ended a longer relationship and you're like, okay, that's water under the bridge. I'm moving on. But then with your rebound relationship, you want to catch it up to where you were, because within that relationship you just ended, maybe you had a level of commitment, you had a level of trust, you had a level of security that took a while to build. But the gaping hole in your heart from the breakup or from holding on to that person is because those things no longer exist. And so in our mind, it's just natural to think, okay, well, I'm going to advance this new situation. I'm going to advance my rebound boo to where I was when I ended my last relationship. And it is a disaster when we do that. We tend to advance it at that warp speed, and then we miss all the signs. We don't see the red flags. We don't see the personality flaws. And then maybe the person might not even have personality flaws, but maybe we don't get to know that person for who they are. We project on them what we want out of that relationship, maybe what we were building in our previous relationship, and we project that on them. And that's totally not fair either, because we don't get to know and love that person for who they are. And so that is why, one of the main reasons that I say we advance the relationship, and it's not a good idea. It's not an ideal situation, because it's not fair to the person, the rebound person that you're with. And it's also not fair to yourself, because you're going to miss a lot of really vital signs that you need to be aware of in order to choose someone for yourself, right? If you want to marry this person and be with someone for the rest of your life, you need to understand, who that person is, and not just, okay, we're going to end it right off where I left off, and you're going to fit and make yourself into that person that I was once with. So that goes into my second point, is a lot of times in rebound relationships, we tend to compare them to our ex. Okay, this is a huge one. We tend to say, oh, well, so-and-so did this, so I kind of need that from you. Or even worse, we understand that the new person that we're with maybe does something better than our ex. And so that's very, very in the forefront of our mind, and we're happy about that. And maybe that was the one thing that attracted us to that person, because they were so phenomenal at something that your ex had failed at. However, what also happens is, because we're still mourning and we're still in this moment of hurt from what we've been through, when that person does something wrong, when that person, doesn't meet us where we're at, it's like a double-edged sword. Not only were we hurt from the last relationship that we got out of, but our new relationship also hurts us even deeper than it should, because we're putting all those hopes and expectations on that person. And so it's this constant comparison. And I'm sorry, anything that is built on any type of comparison, it just leaves so much room for doubt, for mistrust, for lack of security in that relationship. So much room for all of that. Then your new rebound boo is, wondering if you don't meet their ex's qualifications. It's just a nightmare. And so, you can avoid all of that by just taking that time and not jumping into something right away after you've been hurt. So my third rationale and reason for this is unrealistic expectations. So again, we're comparing that person to the person that we may have just ended a relationship with. And so our expectations for how that person should act are like up here. We're expecting them to meet and fill all the holes and all the things in our heart that we didn't get from the other situation. And that is a hard burden for anybody to carry. Imagine if you said, oh, hey, as a friend, I am responsible for your happiness. I am responsible to carry the burden and the weight of your hurt. It is an incredible crushing burden that anyone, we can't carry that. We're only human beings. It's hard for us to carry the burden of someone else's hurt. And so putting that burden on your new rebound relationship is like crushing it. Before it even gets started, it's so crushed, because you're saying, hey, I need you to fix my heart. Here you go. That's so crushing. And again, because we have the hole, because we're hurt, because we're trying to, mend something in our heart that we don't, that we've just gone through in the past relationship, it's hard not to do that to the new person that we're with. And that brings me to the fourth and biggest reason of, and especially as it relates to my story, is to develop a relationship with yourself. I know for years I had been in a relationship since I was like in high school, and I just dated and dated and dated until like my mid-20s. So like over 10 years of always having someone, and rebound relationship after rebound relationship, and just always like feeling like I always had to have somebody like all the time. And so when I think, especially as a woman, you really kind of compromise, and you want to fit into the mold of that role as girlfriend or whatever, fiance, whatever it is. And so maybe you don't love to eat a certain dish, but you'll make it for your mate. Or you guys start to watch a TV show that is like a compromise for both of you. And so you begin to kind of craft yourself and mold yourself into the ideal mate for that person. Over the years, it's just natural that we do that. It's natural that people just kind of grow together and compromise in that way. But the hardest part is when that relationship is over and like, who are you? For many, many years, you've been this one identity. And so developing a relationship with yourself is actually going to give you insight onto who exactly you are. What TV shows do you like? What meals do you like to make? What places do you like to travel to? That was like one of the biggest eye-opening things about my journey. When I ended a relationship, I was like, oh snap, like I'm a pretty cool person. I love to do triathlon. I love to cook. I really love plant-based food. I don't like cooking all this meat. I love to travel the world. I really love going to South America. I mean, there were just so many little things about myself that I didn't even know that I enjoyed or that I liked, because I was so focused on being a we that I forgot to be a me. And so I think it's like so crucial during this time when you just ended a relationship and you're hurting and you're, just kind of searching for answers and looking everywhere, that you take that time to really say, hey, like, let me be present. Let me discover what I like. I've been so busy trying to conform and kind of be this person to someone else. What do I truly like to do? And you're going to unlock so much about yourself, so much about your purpose, so much about why you are here on this planet and how amazing you truly can be, that it's gonna be like flabbergasting. Like I said, I did that and I was like, oh my God, like I really love to write. I really love technology. I really love like designing things, and all these things. There were hints of them before, but I didn't really create that space in my life to really get to know who I was. And that leads me to the fifth thing, once you figure out who you are, you develop that relationship with yourself, you're going to be able to choose someone or be chosen by someone even better. I think it's such I don't know if I say taboo, but really enjoying your life as a single person. It's a dialogue that's never really celebrated in movies or in media. We don't hear people like having these single staycations and doing, we don't ever talk about those things because it's like horrifying. Like you think of the single person, and it's like the woman with the cats, and like, she's like totally desperate and will just grab on to any person that looks her way. And I think that is so completely wrong. I think there's so much life and fullness and wholeness and enjoying who you are and unlocking those things and understanding like, hey, this is what I truly, truly like. And I think those things, and I know those things are so attractive, being whole, like being able to say, hey, like I'm okay with who I am. I'm okay with traveling alone. I'm okay with doing this and like cultivating this business, not knowing, whether I'll have someone or whether I won't. I think that wholeness, it's like a magnet. It draws people in. It not only will draw the right person in, but you're going to get better quality friendships. You're going to get better quality relationships with the people in your family because you'll be a whole person. And like I said, I know from experience, the level even of my friendships, when I started to understand who I was and my purpose and understand why I was here on this planet, I was able to cultivate true friendships, like friendships that align with that purpose and not just, oh, hey, I'm here and maybe I'll just do this and kind of on a whim. And so I think it's really, really crucial that you take that time. And so I guess to wrap the whole thing up, I would say that, I'm definitely not a fan of rebound relationships. And there are ways that you can heal your heart, and there are ways that you can live as a whole person, and there are ways that you can discover who you are, and there are ways that you can be fair to whoever it is that you are dating or you're gonna date, where you're not putting crushing expectations on them, or you're not constantly comparing them to someone else because you yourself are not whole and you're not healed. So make sure you stay on the lookout for my course coming out next year. And in the meantime, I have a really awesome freebie and a blog post this week that I would love for you guys to check out. And If you weren't able to tune in live, make sure that you leave a comment. I would love to hear what you guys are thinking, what you're going through, and maybe some other topics you'd like to hear that relate to this. All right, guys, take care. Bye-bye.